Hey patrons, welcome to this episode of Watch Me Edit. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're gonna get a kick out of this one, because I was visiting a friend of mine, Josh Beal, who's the editor on Counterpart, Season 1 and Season 2, and he also recently cut House of Cards. He was kind enough for me to just come over, film him as he works, and walk me through the process of what it's like to be an editor on a first-rate television show. So some really cool insights that I don't think you're gonna be able to see on any other channel other than this guy edits. And for you as a patron, you're gonna get a whole bunch more. This is how I usually start a BTS video here for members. So if you're new here, I want to thank you for clicking over. Check out what else is happening here on the Patreon platform, where we take editing and storytelling into the deep end. There will be a second video where Josh answers all the patrons' questions, but more about that later. Now enjoy this video where I show you how I cut the episode on Josh and how I use music to build my structure. I have moments where Josh is showing us something specifically on the timeline. Then I also want him to be talking more big picture stuff. What it's like to be an editor, why he enjoys being an editor, how do you become an editor? These kind of things that are non-related to the timeline. How I'm gonna make that clear is to use music whenever he's talking about these themes. So I arrived at this beat here at the end. How long did it take you to cut that scene? Like to do a first presentable cut?
2 days.
So now I'm gonna change. I'm gonna have music come in here.
Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show.
A general statement about editing. And I want to emphasize that with music. I'm the kind of editor who likes to cut to music. Most self-respecting editors will tell you don't cut with music. You just want to have the visuals speak for themselves. It's pure cinema. You don't want the music to take an influence, because anything that you cut to music is going to look good. It's going to hide a lot of issues. Very valid reason, very valid argument. But nonetheless, I like to cut oftentimes with music, because it creates interesting things that I wouldn't come up with without it. And once I've done cutting with music, I'll go back, I'll turn the music off, and I'll just look at the visuals. But I want music to inspire the edit. I have these tracks that I found on Music Vine. It has sort of a broodiness to it. It's like this slow tension. And I was really looking for these pieces of music because I want the music to reflect the show Counterpart. So it has to have some tension. So I'm going to put that in here. Listen to how that immediately creates an atmosphere.
2 days. Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble of...
Okay, so now I don't want these visuals here. What I want to show here instead is some cool B-roll of him editing. And I pre-selected my B-roll.
For the different characters.
So that's like an insert of the hand. That's a wide shot. Unless it comes through this room. That's a good shot to visualize that. So I'm going to use that. Boom.
2 days. Until it comes through this room.
I like just the sound of the room. So for now, I'm going to just turn off what he says, and I'm going to have to fill the sound hole here eventually.
Until it comes through this room, it is not
recognizable as a movie. So here I want to see maybe a closer shot of the screen.
You wanted to see the movie?
So somewhere here I said I wanted to see a shot like that. I don't need the audio, so I turned the audio off. And then I saw this shot. Let's try this instead. And I can use the audio. I'm gonna mute this one.
Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show.
Let's see what else we have.
You wanted to see the moving?
That's not bad. I'll bring this back for now.
Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble of footage to anybody else.
Jumble of footage. I'm looking for a closer shot of the timeline. It doesn't quite sell this, but for now I'm going to use it. I'm not going to be too critical.
Footage to anybody else. This is where what my mom would recognize as a TV show materializes, and I get to be at the very center.
And I get to be at the very center of that. This is not where we want to have a close shot on him. I actually kind of like that shot.
And I get to be at the very center of that. It is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show.
So I'm going to use a shot over here and let it play out.
It is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble of footage to anybody else. This is where what my...
And then here, I'm going to cut to the timeline.
Of footage to anybody else. This is where what... else. This is where what my mom would recognize as a TV...
Cut off the this.
Footage to anybody else. This is where what my mom would recognize. This is where what my mom would recognize as a TV show materializes, and I get to be at the very center of that, and so that's very exciting.
Let's play this one more time, full screen.
Because again, each one of these is 9 minutes.
How long did it take you to cut that scene? Like to do a first presentable cut?
2 days. Until it comes through this room.
I actually want to flip these two shots.
2 days.
Nice. White shot.
Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show.
Great.
It's just a jumble of footage to anybody else. This is where what my mom would recognize as a TV show materializes, and I get to be at the very center of that, and so that's very exciting.
Good. I like this a lot. I didn't plan what just happened here, and I don't know if you noticed this. I suddenly saw a phrase. A phrase is when there's a sequence of shots that seem to make a connection or sense in a way where there's a pattern. Take a look at this and see if you can recognize the phrase. And this is very subjective, of course.
2 days. Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble.
We're going white.
Until it comes through this room.
This is a little less white.
It is not recognizable.
Now we're a little closer. And it reveals more about the stuff that he's looking at.
Recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble of footage to anybody.
And now we're going even closer.
Else. This is where what my mom would recognize as a TV
Come up
show
on him, which is fine.
And I get to be at the very center.
And then at the end, there's this angle that sort of takes us back to the original angle, like we're across the room again. And I like how this is visualizing.
And I get to be at the very center of that.
He gets to be at the very center of that. So there's technology right here, there's technology here. Because of him, all this stuff is happening. This is how that reads to me. It's not something I really think about all that much, or that the audience, when they're seeing this, will think about. But they might feel it, because I'm feeling it, and hopefully what I feel and what the audience feels matches up. And all this is happening thanks to a piece of music. Now I could refine this.
2 days.
I don't know if I want to do this cut, but let's try it just for fun.
Days. Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble.
I don't like it that quickly.
Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble of...
Okay, I'm feeling it. I wonder if I have a little bit more head on the shot. So I don't want to see him right away.
Until it comes through this room, it is not recognizable as a movie or a TV show. It's just a jumble of footage to anybody else. This is where what my mom would recognize as a TV show materializes. And I get to be what mom would recognize as a TV show materializes.
I don't want him to look back at the screen.
Materializes, and I get to be at the very center of that, and so that's very exciting.
There you go, you get the idea. Let me just quickly show you how I found these tracks and how I selected them. What I really like about Music Vine is the curation, the type of music that they have. Not so much genres, but I'm looking for moods. So if I go for tens, I don't really have to do the work. It's sort of been done for me. I can play these songs. This is actually already a good one that maybe I want to use in the piece. We got that option. So I would just assemble a bunch of tracks that I like this. Put them in a playlist. I've pre-selected a playlist here. Now if I go to my playlist, that song that I just found is added. And I can see the waveform. That's really important for me. As I'm scrolling through the music, maybe I look at this piece here and it starts off slow, but there's some build up over here. And I really want to know where it's going. So I'll just click there. This one is very consistent, which is good for some pieces to just have a consistent dynamic range. And then I could just download a preview. Once it's downloaded, I can already cut with those. Once I purchase the tracks, you get also loops. And a loop basically means you can cut a bunch of them together. So if I take this one, put it here, put it here, put it here, they'll smoothly transition. You don't have to do another music edit. Smooth. But let's say every once in a while I want to change it up, so here's another loop. But this is a little bit more dynamic. Let me put that right here. Smooth. So with all these different loops, you can really create your own score. When you know you need to bring it up a notch because you have a turn, you can play with the music to emphasize that. And that's all I'm gonna say in this one, so I'll see you soon. Thanks for checking out the behind the scenes video. I want to entice you to watch the other one as well, where Josh answers questions of our Patreon members. It's gonna cost you $1 or more, but if you're into film editing and storytelling, you do get benefits like worksheets, bonus content, and merchandising perks. And you become a member of a community where you can share your work, get and give feedback. Happy editing. Chris wants to know what's the software you use.
If you want to cut in television, you need to be really good on Avid. It's really the only game in town. There's a lot of really good reasons why that is. But yeah, it is starting to feel increasingly, to me at least, long in the tooth and ready for rethinking and stuff. But
how do you see the future?
I see the future within my corner Probably adopting something like